things. Now, Queen Quet is also on the PILAU Advisory Committee.
Yep.
And she has been just so supportive of this program. And I really appreciate you coming out to say good words and to speak to the men in the program about the fact of your grades, that your academic success, all the wonderful things we do in PILAU, all of these cultural events, all this good food y'all been eating this semester.
Yeah!
All of it still has to be anchored in your academic performance. So we want you to always be reminded of that. And Queen Quet never forgets it, and she ain't gonna let y'all forget it. And so she says, if she don't hear, you know, she's gonna come looking for you. So I just want to thank you for that strong support, especially recognizing what's really at the heart of what we do here at TCM and what we do in the PILAU program. So thank you very much. Queen Quet, yeah.
How can cultural understanding help address some of the self-destructive behavior we see among African American males? And that self-destructive behavior is, sometimes it can be, you know, it comes at varying extremes. Sometimes it's the extremes of violence and death, and sometimes it can be an extreme of as small as too much pride to go to the tutoring center.
True. Okay. It's interesting that I travel around the world, and I'm the type of person that I'm going to find black people wherever I go, whether it's England, France, or wherever. And it's always interesting to me, all these things that we have in common. We have a global community. But what I have always found is a certain pride in a man where he doesn't feel that he is truly a man if he has to ask for help. But in the Gullah Geechee traditions, we know that all you have is each other. And so if you have devalued having someone else to help you, now you start to devalue yourself. And if you devalue yourself and you don't care about your own life, you definitely can't care about the lives of others. So more often than not, when people have been burdened with that kind of frustration and have no release because they really don't have an understanding of who are they really. When they look in the mirror, they see somebody and they think of him a certain way or they think of her a certain way. But then they turn on the TV and they see someone that look awfully similar, but they're being spoken of in the opposite way. So now they're only seeing themselves through somebody else's lens. Now the thing is, do I understand who I am enough to know that the real me is the one looking at me in the mirror? Or do I now become to believe that's me on the TV? And now I become part of a self-fulfilling prophecy that only says African American or Gullah Geechee males don't go to school, that they don't want an education, that they're all going to jail, that none of them take care of their children, that they all leave home. And now if I'm starting to now have this wrestling match going on like W.E.B. Du Bois talks about the souls of black folks, then I can't directly rationalize which one is the real me. It almost sets off a tone of schizophrenia, that out of this you act erratically, you act sporadically. So the least little thing sets you off. And it becomes a spark, but it becomes the wrong kind of spark. It becomes a spark that burns down the house when nobody has anywhere to live. There's nothing left but ashes. But this is the thing. The phoenix rose out of the ashes. And so even if there's a brother out there who has said, well, man, forget that. I don't go to school, but it's too hard. And then I got to read all these books, and I don't think I read as well. I don't know that I'm understanding this. Well, there's folks that want to help, but I ain't going to go in there because, see, if I got to ask for help, then you know that's less than myself. Well, no, that's not true. The reason that God put us all on earth at the same time and didn't give us each our own individual universes is because we each are supposed to help one another in this time frame. So you are not less than a man or woman to say to somebody else, I don't know anything. But you can do nothing but self-destruct if you think you know everything. Because you will be like the bird that tried to fly up to the sun and then burned up and just came down into ashes. Because you can't fly in God's face like that, who created you, and say, well, I don't need nobody else. Because that's like you're trying to make yourself your own God. And there's a being greater than us. Our ancestors always knew that. Our community knows that. And as long as we keep that focus, then, hey, it said pride cometh before the fall. Don't be the one to fall over your own pride. Be the one that says, look, I'm man enough to realize one thing. I'm gifted in these following things, and this thing here, I don't know. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. So you need to come out of the groups that say, well, this is your image. And then know what your image is. And I think a person can only come to that point when they know their culture. They know their traditions. They know who they are. And more often than not, people will say, well, how does the student learn without the teacher? So that's why I think it's so important that the PILAU program exists, because some of these students don't have someone at home that's going to be willing or able to say to them, I am Gullah Geechee and I'm proud of it. Or to explain it and, as I like to say, break them down like a shotgun for them to understand what does that mean to be Gullah Geechee. Maybe they can't connect. Maybe there's too much of a gap between the generation. But when we can draw it all together and someone understands who they are, then more often than not, that's a person who takes more thought about what they're doing. And when they're about a group that's all connected and they're unified, then they start to say, well, I'm a part of something. And more often than not, that's really what people are searching for, is what am I a part of? And when they understand what they're a part of, they can live it out. And again, when they know better, they can then do better.